Labeling something as Eastern or Western can imply either a highly political statement or just simple cardinal directions. The generation of our parents uses the term ex-Eastern Bloc for countries that were separated from the rest beyond the infamous Iron Curtain, another symbolic icon connected to this topic.
Oh, that is a good question. Thank you for asking that. It's really hard to define. I mean, like usually it's considered to be like Eastern Europe. Like I come from Lithuania, which is also considered Eastern Europe. Although I do think we're from the Baltics. But if you look like geographically, I would say Eastern Europe is the countries which are in the EAP, Eastern Partnership countries.
Well, maybe somehow Eastern Europe is like more traditional than the Western one. I think so, and it's like less freedom than the Western one.
I think when I say Eastern Europe, I think of the ex-communist bloc and the ex-communist countries.
Everything that is more Eastern than Germany and Austria.
Well, bumpy roads, old houses, old people sitting on their porches and smiling for no special reason.
Western Europe. Okay, Western Europe. It's everything else which is not in the EAP.
The other part.
Western Europe for me is like more where you have more freedom of choice and like you are free, you can do whatever you want.
Everything, Germany, Austria, and everything more Western.
Bureaucracy, and lots of it.
Every single one of us, born after the revolutions of 1989, has no reasons for thinking in Cold War terms, in blocks anymore. All the borders within the EU are open to free movement of goods, services, capital and people. Additionally, the EU has trade relations with countries even further to the east, expanding its reach.
I see it as a struggle from the EU to get the Eastern, like Far Eastern Bloc to raise the European values.
European Eastern Partnership maybe somehow combining all the good stuff from Western Europe and the other stuff from the Eastern one.
It's gonna be a long time, and a really long time, until we see any real progress.
I don't see it. I could feel it, just feel it. Yeah.
One way to get the best out of these neighborhood relations is by striving towards the same goals and tackling problems as a unity. Economic and business relations within the common single market already create very strong links between member states. Disruptions like the financial crisis in 2008 strongly affected some of Europe's very western countries, just as well as the ones in the east, whether EU member or not.
Nasty food that all the girls do dress up like easily going, and there is just lack of money on everything.
Okay, for example, I'm from Eastern Europe and when I have been attending for the session that was held in Eastern Europe, I was thinking about the freedom of choice and like having fun with other friends and doing whatever I want without any restrictions.
Yeah, bumpy roads again, weird food you haven't heard of.
Based on a common ground, the EU and its respective partnerships act as a linking wire between cultures and economies. Why shouldn't we then go further and tie a closer bond in order to work together with a common strategy?
We're all people.
are Europeans.
We're human and we want peace.
That we all want the best for ourselves, and we're gonna do a lot to try to achieve that.
Perhaps as international cooperation is becoming more and more important, we should start to tear down our dead walls of separation by no longer labelling countries as Eastern or Western. We can begin to build new and everlasting bridges between states.